Alright, I got to start out this video with a few corrections. I watched video 13 and I realized uh, there's a few errors that I've made in there and I need to come back. One was when I dropped this, let me zoom in on the area here. Zoom to selection. Okay, when I dropped this box right here, I had two lines drawn in here, and I must have grabbed that bottom line because it became disconnected from here, so I'm not positive this square is actually 0, 0. It's a good thing I watched the video to recheck this, or it would have really thrown everything off. So I'm just going to hold my control key, redraw these two lines. See how that did? I messed it up again, so I'll hit escape. That's what I did the last time. That's why I'm saying this box. And grab this, move it out of the way. Grab my line tool. Okay, this. Move out here. Drop my control, hold my control key. I love how it does that. I wish it would stay in that view. Grab my line tool again. Bottom here. Click, drag it down. So I'm just going to make these corrections real quick and get back to what I was trying to do. A little hard to see. No, that's not where it belongs. Delete. And delete. And file. We're going to save it. And we're going to re-export it. Right over the existing file. Okay, that's the only correction I saw in there. Now, when I made the Step 2 G code, let me get back into that. Going to Mach 3. This is, I'd said I was going to pocket it, and then when I made the G code, I actually didn't click pocket. I clicked inside offset, which is fine, but a 1/2" tool is not going to do that. It's going to leave 2/10 of an inch in this center section where the tool paths don't overlap each other. So what I need to do is I'm going to go back to D2 and C. I'm not going to select that. I want to just, I need to make some corrections in that. And I'm going to switch from a 1/2" cutter to a 5/8 cutter. I also forgot that I'm actually going to machine this part, so I don't want to be changing things for demonstration purposes, like I said. So I kind of got off track there. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a professional at what I'm doing here, so I'm just doing my best. We're going to click Next. We're going to click Modify. Get rid of everything I'm not using. Remove it. We're going to set its origin to the bottom left. We're going to click on the offset. Make the tool diameter 0.625, 5/8. I want to select on this inner box. Now it's okay to pick the inside. Go ahead and offset it. And when this tool comes through, this is the center of the tool. These two paths will overlap each other and leave nothing in the center here. That was just a mistake I made the last time. We're going to go ahead now and go to Path. Click on Contour. Local Shape. None. Select the item. Move it in to work with it. Our depth was 0.504. I want to take a step of 20 thousandths. I forgot I'm actually going to machine this, so I need to set it up the way I'm going to machine it. I'm going to go just conserve. We'll take its 9.1. I can always ramp the speed up in Mach 3. Going to go ahead and take the ramping distance of 5. Notice it changed that from a 4 to a 5 because the cutter got bigger. So D2NC automatically does that for you. We're going to add this, generate the G code. You can see it change size on the screen. We're going to edit this. We're going to say File, Save As. Make sure we have to change it back to my desktop. So let me click over here. Pick up the desktop. Under here, we need to put it back in the same directory. So we're, and then I'm going to save it as step 2. But I want to change the cutter size to 0.625. Get this. Delete, backspace, 625. As a tab, say save. I want to click on Save As again, just to delete the other one out of there. I can delete this 1/2 inch one. Okay, we got steps with a bigger cutter actually set up for me to machine it. I forgot I was machining it when I was going through this. I needed to correct that. So we'll go ahead and save this. We'll make sure it came through right. And yes, that is our correct drawing. If you look to see how thin it is in this section right here. All right, so that's the corrections that I had to make to that step 2. Now we'll go back to the actual drawing, and I had forgotten that we also got to cut the outside of this out here before we move on to the next step. So we've got the holes drilled, we've got the top surfaces actually done. Now we need to do the outside, the 2 pockets, and the 2 holes. So to do this, I'm going to, before I do that, another mistake, I left lines in here that I didn't need. Up here at the top, delete this one and delete this one. I use those as a measurement in the last video. Okay, I'm going to select this. I'm going to right click and copy it. Okay, try that again. Select that. I must have to be on a line. I'm going to click copy. Click off of it. Right click on the screen, click paste. This thing just drops it anywhere it wants to. I'm going to move back over here further. I'm going to drop this one into location. I'm going to zoom to it. The selection. Alright. What we want to do here, so we don't have problems like we did before with having lines on top of lines, is we're going to select just the lines we want to work with, and we're going to group them. And because the holes and the pockets are covering the same areas, I'm going to have to do this in 2 separate drawings. So I'll pick the lines, and then once I pick the lines and delete the other ones off, then I'm going to make another copy of this and actually only show the holes in one with the outside and only show the pockets in the next one with the outside, just the outside lines. So let me go ahead and do that. Click off of it here, and the first one I will do is the actual pockets. Now, I don't want to come in with this cutter and actually leave a radius here. So I want to actually draw a square for these 2 pockets, and then I'll pick up these 2 lines and add them. So I just go ahead and do it. Let's intersect all the lines. As you're doing this, you always have to think about what the radius of the cutter is going to leave in the part. So that's the reason for this. I have to ungroup it first, line ungroup, then line intersect. I'm jumping around here. Alright, I want to, first I'm going to select this. I have to ungroup that. Pick this one, see if I need to ungroup it. Now see, it's not grouped. Okay. I'm going to start deleting off lines. I want to draw a line from here, pulling down my control. Now, I'm just going to draw it all the way across. I'll intersect these later. Okay, that's our first path, a bottom of our pocket. I want to draw a line from here to here, and that's sitting at 270. That's fine. Going to do the same thing on the other side, from here to here. Okay, now I want to select it all again and intersect it one more time. I want to take out have a little line here. You don't want anything intersecting with your actual two group pockets. Okay, so we have the two pockets in this drawing. We're not worried about the outside. We're not going to cut it with this drawing. We're just going to cut these two pockets. And I took that little path out of here. There's no reason for it to make that turn. These actually should, so I don't end up with a radius right here from the cutter. I want to lengthen this line actually. So the easiest way to do that is I'm probably going to cut these out with a 1/4" cutter. So I'll lengthen this line by 1/4 inch. So we're just going to take and draw 4 lines 1/4 inch long. Hold down the control key so they're straight. Of course it zoomed out on me again. If I took these and actually put them in their own drawing, it probably would be easier. I'm just learning too. So, all right, we're going to make these lines 1/4 inch long. So now I'm going to make 4 of them. So I Control D 3 more times. I'm going to grab them. Now just stick them on the end here. And it's still going to mess with me. Oh, this is getting annoying. Okay, we're going to take this. You know what? I'm just going to copy this and put it on its own. I'm just going to start another file. Hello, hold on. Alright, what I'm going to do is, I'm getting too spread out here, so I'm going to break this up into more drawings. This one here, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And start a new file, calling it Pockets. This just got too many drawings to put them all on one. I'm going to copy this one. Right. And then go File, New. Blank design. Do I want to save it? No, because it'll take that out of there. I'm going to right click, paste. So we drop this in here. I'm going to go ahead and save this as and see where it's putting it. Make sure it's on my desktop in CNC Vids. We're going to call this Pockets. We'll save it. Alright. That was just too much jumping around as caused my own. I'm going to Control D here again. I should have made 4 of those. I need to take this 2-inch off. That's what's wrong. Escape. Grab this one. I probably dropped 2 of these somewhere else. I think there's one right here. Yep. We're going to come back and take all those lines out anyway. I'm going to grab this and move it out. All right, we got to clean up the drawing before we actually make a code out of it anyway. Okay, so now I've got the path going out far enough that it's not going to leave the radius in the corner past this edge where they were lining up before. And we can start deleting some other stuff out of here. We can take these circles out so they don't interfere. Alright, so there's no longer anything touching our 2 pockets. The only thing we're worried about is this pocket and this pocket. So we'll take this now and we'll export it as pockets. We're going to save it first. And we're going to export as pockets. And we're going to go back into D2 and C. Select No. CAD. I'm going to start talking a little less. Maybe I'll make less mistakes and just go ahead and do it. We're going to say next to selected, say bottom left, pick our offset. Now, if you notice, I still didn't straighten these out. They're not yellow, so I'm still screwing up here. I said I was going to straighten them out before I took them. Sorry. The more complicated this part gets, the more I'm screwing up. Okay, we want to. I'm going to hold down the Control key and start. I'm going to group this. I'm sorry, I said I want to group that. Line, group. Okay. So now the box, if I click on it, yep, that's a complete square. And then I'm going to start selecting the lines around here like we did on the last one. Making sure that I pick up the very next line each time as I go around, so I don't leave any spaces. I'm going to click on line group, click off of it, come over here, start selecting, holding down a control key, group this one. Make sure you got everything. Click on line group. A lot of times it gets confusing when you got lines on top of lines. The way I draw with boxes and circles and stuff growing over the top of it, you got to make sure you collect them all back up. So now let's pick the 3 groups. Holding down the control key, pick the 3 groups. And then just grab them and drag them out of here. And we'll delete everything else off. All we need are 0 point and our 2 pockets. Okay, and see the lines it left? All this we don't need. So let's just get it out of our drawing. Hit delete. And this is what we're actually working on. So once again, we'll save it and export it. And this time, when we open it in D2 and C, we're going to overwrite the old file. And we'll go back into D2 and C, and you'll see these should be closed actual pockets. Pick our pockets, say open. I'm trying to do this fast, and actually talking and doing it is making me screw up. So now we have it, its origin bottom left. We're going to pick the offset. There's still something wrong with this left drawing. I'm not sure what it is. We got to go back and check it. See how this one turned yellow? It's fine. This one, I'm selecting it, but there's another line there. These lines, there's something wrong. There's something underneath this or something. So let me go back to the drawing again. How can I do this? Let's take and draw a line from here to here and see if I can drag this. Now select this and see if I can drag this out of here and see if there's anything else in there. Well, I don't see anything else in there. Maybe there's a dot in there. So let's select that whole area. No, I don't see a dot in it. Alright, let's put it back where it belongs. Snap back to the location. Delete this line back out. I was just using that to make sure I didn't lose my position. We grouped it. Let's see if there's an opening. I'm going to ungroup it and group it again. And if one of these lines aren't intersected, it's not going to see it as a closed group. That's what the problem is. We're not, and I believe you're probably going to be right here because I see something wrong there. I'm going to go line, group, click off of it, and click on it again, and that, I believe there's an opening right here. I'm going to ungroup it and zoom to that point. There's something wrong with this actual picture. There it is. Now, it should have showed up with an error there, and I've got something going on. This line is not intersected with this line. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to zoom out. Grab the... hang on just a second. See, this is all on a new computer, so I have to go to Preferences. Let me find Preferences here. I don't have all my tools. Okay. zoom out here. I'm going to select this line. It's not connected to the line below it, and I'm going to delete it out of here. I'm going to redraw the line, and it'll snap to the corner. Then I'm going to reselect that box and regroup it. That's what I say. You got it. I'm repeating myself, I know, but when you have errors, that's what's causing them. That should be all right now. We're going to save it and export it. Open D2 and C. Restart. Import. Pockets. Okay. Click Next. Bottom left. Offset. Now everything on the screen is yellow. Everything that we're going to do now is yellow, and there's no errors. And if you look, the red lines are telling you that it's going from 1 to the next, back to the point of 0. So I'm going to put a 1/4" tool in here. I'm going to say pocket the inside. I'm going to select this one and this one, both pockets. I'm going to go ahead and tell it to offset. I'm going to click path. These are contours. Local shape, none. Select our 2 pockets. Move those in. The full depth of this is below 0, but since I don't want to start at the 0 point, which is the top of the material that's no longer there. We took it out with the crisscross X pattern instead too. I want to start at material top will be negative 0.504, because that's the depth of the previous pass over this. I want to take a step of 0.20 thousandths again, like I did in the last one. I'm going to go at 2200 here. But the full depth now is how deep the pocket is, and I'm going to have to show you by going back to the camera. The full depth here is not the full depth from the top of the part. The full depth is from the last cut. So we cut down in the last pass when step 2, we cut down this far. So the full depth of this pocket here now is the distance it's going below this surface. I don't know if you can see that. Here's where we've cut down to with step 2. Now we need to cut down in here for this pocket. So the distance is the difference between here and here. And it does get a little confusing. It confused me for a long time. First let me 0. Then I just need to take a depth here. This isn't rocket science here. And it's 0.130. So we'll come back to, so the depth of this is going to be 0.130. We can ramp it. This is all wrong. I'm killing myself. This has to be a pocket. This cannot be an inside cut. I'm really screwing up here. Let's go back to shape, offset. Let's restart. I'm sorry. I'm not going to remake all these videos. I'm going to repick pocket. Repick that. Click next. Bottom left. Offset. I got my 1/4" tool. I want a pocket, not an inside. And you'll see the difference here. I got to step over a 50%. I need to take all the material out, not just go around the inside edge of it. Go ahead and offset these. Now you can see they're actual pockets. I want to go now to path, contour, local shape, select these two, move these selections. This depth was 0.130. My step is 20 thousandths. My material top is negative 0.504. Quarter inch, I'm going to cut it at 2200 RPM. I want to see, let's see, I want to run that feed up to about, let's try it at 7. Do not ramp pockets. If you ramp a pocket, what it does is it ramps down and then it goes backwards until it hits a 0 point and then starts over the same area and goes through. And what it's doing is it ramps down and then backs up to take everything down to the depth of that step and then goes forward. If you just let it plunge, you'll have one little line where it plunged in the side. It's the best way to do it, the fastest way to do it, because it'll plunge, take the whole thing, plunge, take the whole thing. I would not ramp pockets. So we'll add and close. And generate the G code. Go to Mach 3. Regen the tool path. And got a total error. I'm just probably going to delete this video. Okay, so that one's wrong. Let's go back to D2 and C. Say yes. No. Restart. Import. God. Pockets. Open. Click next. Bottom left. Offset. I just did something there that I don't have a clue what the error was. I don't know if it's PC. I put a 1/4 inch cutter in. I'm going to do a pocket, select these two. I know what I did. I'll show you what I did in just a second. When I went to path and contour, I said local shape, none. I forgot to select them. I got in a hurry and forgot to actually click on them, so I didn't move anything over there. Okay, now move selected. This depth is 0.130. This is 0.02 or 2. Material top is negative 0.504. Our speed's going to be 2200. Let's do it this way, because it'll change everything. 2143 is close enough. Don't want to ramp it. Want to add and close. Want to only select that one and generate the G code. Okay, here's our two pockets. We're going to go and edit the G code, rename it step 3. I'm sorry, I guess I'm tired or something. I've been save it. Save as. Trying to put it in the wrong spot again. I can't win. This video is just totally screwing up. CNC training videos. This one should have been deleted out. This one's going to be called Step 3. Pocket. 0.250 for a tool size. And we'll save it. And Go ahead and close this. Alright, I'm going to pause and take another break, have a cup of coffee, and maybe I can quit screwing up so much in the next video. Sorry about that. But